All right. Good morning, tribe, and welcome to the Donut Shop at the beginning of the world. I am your host, Dr. Mark Merriweather Vorderbergen, coming to you live from Ravenscar, my backyard. A virtual donut shop in nature. Cool. All right. Hey, good morning, Joe. How you doing today? Melanie, bacon and eggs. I had half that. I had eggs. Good morning, Tina. How are the tribe doing? And he said, I need a little ding, 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 little one of those door chimes that whenever someone walks in, hey, Alan, good morning. Got your coffee? Whoa, a bunch of people here. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, Amanda. Good morning to you. Sherry, figured you'd be here. Donna, good morning. Jennifer, good morning. Joe, you're upright? All right. I bet you're still pretty sore from the crash there. Oof. Hey, Jonathan, good morning. Cool. All right. Like I said, today is the day. Hey, Dion, it's out. It's available. Woo! Immune Pill, the one we were hoping for, getting out first, is ready. Wow, 30 people here already. Cool, cool, cool. Hey, Missy. Missing Missy. Hey, Joanne. I wonder if my dad's going to hear. Morning. Watching The Rat Story. The Rat Story? Okay. No rats here. We had to get rid of Mr. Fluffy. But anyway, yeah. Funny story. Just to go sideways on the rat, back at the beginning of the whole COVID thing, Business Insider came out and interviewed me, and they had a videographer and stuff like that. And it was doing great. We were here in the backyard talking, doing things, and a rat came walking by and started nibbling on one of the plants. And now this isn't one of your big New York sewer rat, nasty rats. This is, like a chinchilla-ish looking rat. And it looked very cute and fluffy. And it was just there eating. And of course, the videographer, he didn't know, he didn't recognize it as a rat. And so he was videoing, oh, this is so cool. And it's like, okay. But anyway, yeah, the rats are gone. Hey, good morning, Dad and Mom. So the tribe welcomes you. You welcome the tribe. How's Mom doing this morning? Yeah, Jonathan, I saw that. That was insane. So chemical plant blew up a huge, not quite Beirut level type fire and explosion and stuff, but still really, 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 really big. Everything okay there, Jonathan? Hopefully you didn't breathe in much of the fumes. Hey, Julie. All right, coffee. Yo. Oh, hello, lizard. Ooh, it's one of the bacon-flavored lizards. I could have had it with my egg. Oh, well. All right. Oh, let's see. Dawn. Good morning, Dawn. Okay, so Dawn, if you go over to Foraging Texas, there's different tags you can look at, and aquatic is one of them. So depending on where you're going, lotus would be a really good one to keep an eye out for now. Of course, cattails, pickerel weed is another good one. Smartweed along the edges of the shore are a few. And of course, the willow along the banks. And regardless of what you've heard about the water lilies, they are not edible. So the difference between a lotus and a water lily is the lotus is completely round. The leaf coming out of the water is completely round, whereas the lily pad is a cleft circle. So if it's completely round, the shoots and the tubers and the flowers and the seeds and all that are edible. If it's a cleft lily pad, it tastes like crap and don't bother with it. Oops. Good morning, Curtis. Good morning, Terry. Good morning, Kelsey. Yeah, it would be sucky to be next to a chemical plant that's blown up. Ah, Melanie. Yeah, go Google it. It's big fire, big flames. Hey, Sharon. How are you this morning? Sorry you're not sleeping. You really need to work on your sleep schedule there. We need to get you a tea or something. Good morning, Tammy. Oh, wow. Okay, so the finale of what season is this now? Like 7 or 8, Melanie? Is it still the 2 ladies and a guy? I don't have cable, so I don't watch it. Hey, good morning, Mike. Whoa. Where did you find it, Tina? You need to transplant some into your pond. There's Wapato, that's also the duck potato, the arrowhead plant. Good thing. Another good aquatic plant. Hey, good morning, April. Good morning, Kimberlyn. Okay, Melanie, season 7. It's up in the Arctic again, isn't it? Tina, is this where you found the Wapato? Combs Neil? Cool. All right. So it's Rollin, Kaylee, and Callie. Or Kylan? Okay, Kylan? Cool. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I kind of wish I had cable. I got to set my coffee down. I kind of wish I had cable so I could kind of see alone. You know, since I tried out for it, then they turned me down and everything. But still, yeah. Oops. Yeah. So, let's see. Yard dart. So I once saw this in some gardening magazine or a cool thing like that. They had this thing, and they had a bunch of they had a garden, and they had like an amphitheater of rows of these heads on it, and I thought that was really cool. And I went to Hobby Lobby, or actually I probably found it at Big Lots. Anyway, I found the one head, and then at the price of it, it's like, oh, okay, instead of having a big crowd, I'm just going to have one. And so it's been in the garden now for 2 decades, really. Okay, here's a good question, and of course I always have to be careful. So in the immune pill, there is the elderberry, the echinacea, the cordyceps, the vitamin C, and the self-heal. So I'm going to walk through each one. I can hold it up here. The immune pill is what we're talking about here. So the elderberry, it increases the rate at which your killer T cells come flooding out of the killer T cell production cells to attack the invaders that have been tagged by the immune system scouts. So how basically the immune system works is you have these scouts that come around and they go, you don't belong here, tag, stick a little marker on it, and then the killer T's come and attack that cell that is, or the whatever has been tagged by the scouts. To tell for the scouts to tell the killer C's to release, they use vitamin C as the signaling agent. So we got the vitamin C in there for the the vitamin C amount in there is at what's considered to be the daily recommended dose. So the amount of vitamin C in the tablet is enough for everything your body needs vitamin C for, not just as the signal between the scouts and the killer T's. All right, so along with the compounds in elderberry that cause the killer T cells to come swarming out at a higher rate, it also has some proven abilities that the compounds in the elderberry block viruses from getting into cells. They can't get in, and then they go away. So it helps prevent the infections that way. The echinacea, it's mainly, again, it screws up the viruses if they are produced. So, the way things get in, a virus can get in the cell, starts reproducing, takes over the cellular machinery that makes a whole bunch of mimics of the virus, and then they burst out of the cell. And that's why you're sick, because your cells are being burst open by the the virus coming out of the cells. So the echinacea works in there, and it screws up the ability of the viruses to hijack the DNA and the machinery of the cell. I already talked about the vitamin C. The Healsol, the Self-Heal, the Prunella vulgaris, that is a plant that is found all over the world. And every culture where it grows has quickly figured out, damn, this thing heals damn near everything. So there are compounds in the Healsol that works as a wound healer, as an infection fighter, as an anti-cancer, the whole gamut of what we would call, like warrior and lifestyle injuries and illnesses. Again, FDA, let me read the warning here. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, and prevent diseases. So since the immune pill has not itself, in its final blend, undergone the rigorous studies, we can't make these claims. We can claim, it's known that elderberry does this, echinacea does that, down the line, but we can't claim our product can do that. So, but yeah, the Self-Heal, amazing. Oh, and then the cordyceps, multiple functions. So one, it is an immune system, what's called an immunoregulator. So, which means if your immune system is kind of down, it brings it up. But if it's getting kind of out of control, it brings it down. It kind of stabilizes. And so that's in there to help prevent any sort of cytokine storm that the elderberry, in certain diseases, elderberry can trigger this huge, massive storm of killer T cells that just start attacking everything in sight. And so the cordyceps is in there to help prevent that. The cordyceps also has shown studies on things like improved endurance and strength, mood, all sorts of things. So, yep, good stuff. Let's see. Yeah, cable is not worth it. Hey, good morning, Johnny. Let's see. So I have that during Halloween. The zombie arm coming out of the ground, and there's several actually. Hey, good morning, Sandra. Hey, Kiri. Hey, Bernice. Oh, cool. I've been doing a room makeover. It's coming together beautifully with ease. Thanks, Brain Pill. Improving brain endurance. The Prunella, the Self-Heal, it's an amazing plant. It's one of those gifts of the universe to people. Whoop. Okay. Yeah. So there are a number of plants. Okay, so it depends on if it's diabetes 1 or diabetes 2. If it's diabetes 2, where you have problems controlling the sugar content in your blood, there are a number of plants that help with that. A couple of different mechanisms, but the different plants that have the high mucilaginous, the slime in it, like okra, cactus pads, the spiderwort, things with the gooey, slimy stuff in there, mallows. That slime binds to sugar and only slowly releases it. So it slows down the transfer of sugars from the gut into the blood, which is beneficial. Another thing is cinnamon. Cinnamon basically kind of, for lack of a better way of describing it, slightly screws up the body's ability to absorb sugar through the intestinal wall again into the blood. And so cinnamon is used a lot to help control blood sugar amounts. Okay. Yes, Nathan. So the liver pill in particular, the burdock root, that's also one of the components that will be in the strength pill and also the libido pill. because the burdock root, there's a lot of science showing that it speeds up the muscle cells' ability to get rid of the waste products that build up when you're working out and doing stuff really strenuous. And so by getting rid of those waste products quickly, the muscles don't fatigue as quickly. So you get rid of the waste products. Now you will end up peeing, a fair amount. But yeah, the burdock root is one of the herbs that helps improve endurance and strength because it helps flush out the toxins that form when you're working out. Again, FDA regulations, our particular product has not been tested in that particular thing, but since we have the burdock root in there in the liver pill, the liver pill. And say, whoops, focus. Yeah. The cleanse, support, detoxify, protect the liver. But yeah, the getting rid of waste improves speed and endurance. Okay, Curtis, I'm assuming you're asking what else can I do in regards to diabetes. So of course, the weight loss, exercise, get yourself the rest of the body healthy. So one of the problems with the diabetes is it puts extra stress on the body and causes all sorts of damage to the body. So if your body is more able to handle those stresses by being in better shape, best shape you can, that helps a lot too. There's quite a few people that are like right on the borderline diabetic, and through proper diet and exercise, they stay on the proper side. Okay, here's a good one. So turmeric, ground versus root, or cooked, or versus with tea. Best way for max benefits. So the nice thing about turmeric is the compounds in it are pretty heat stable. So you can take the powder, you can take the root, you can cook it, you can make it to a tea. Personally, I think eating the ground root, like in a curry, that's one of the things I have on my egg every morning. Is I have it loaded with turmeric and cayenne pepper and black pepper. The black pepper is in there to make the turmeric and the cayenne pepper compounds more readily available. So really, the turmeric tea, least biodigestible and least amount of beneficial compounds. Ideally, you want the powder sprinkled on a food, sprinkled in your cup of soup at lunch, sprinkled, on, like I said, every morning I have my egg, and it has a pile of turmeric on it and cheese. So, yeah, the ground root eaten, cooked doesn't affect it at all. But the powdered form consumed, so eating the actual root consumed, powdered root here, tea down here. Still good, but you're better off here, especially if you add some black pepper to the mix, which flavor-wise goes really well. Okay, strengthen the immune system. So another big thing that seems to be a problem with especially a lot of Americans is lack of vitamin D. We have been taught for the last 30, 40 years that the sun is our enemy, and we stay out of sunlight because if we get any little sunlight, we're going to get skin cancer. Okay, so we're doing that, and in doing that, we are desperately low on vitamin D. So the general vitamin D supplement, not very effective because vitamin D, it's a fat soluble molecule, so you need different types of long chain fatty molecules with it, or you go out in the sun and produce it yourself. Like 10 minutes a day of sunlight a day. Go out and lunch and roll up your sleeves and unbutton your shirt a little and just go and try not to sweat to death, but get that vitamin D up. If you have some issue with sunlight, the other really cool trick is the white button mushrooms that you get from the grocery store, the fresh mushrooms. set those out in the sunlight. So spread them out on a cookie sheet, set those out on out in the sun, again, for like, an hour or so. Put a little screen over them maybe, or something to keep critters off them, but you want them to be exposed to sunlight, because mushrooms, when exposed to sunlight, they produce vitamin D, the same as humans do. Well, the same as mammals do, really. Because remember, mushrooms are not plants. From a genetic biochemistry sort of thing going on, they're actually closer to animals than they are to plants. So set the mushrooms out in the sunlight, 30 minutes or so, and then for the next day, they will be loaded with vitamin D. So you can get your vitamin D. But really, the first thing, if you have an immune system, get vitamin D. Unless you are a farmer or a construction worker or outside a lot all day, there's a really good chance that your vitamin D levels are too low. So that's awesome, Jonathan. Yep. Bushcraft guy. Clay. Gold, man. I miss panning for gold. Where did you do the gold? Definitely not in Texas. Oops, where was it? Okay, yeah. So the cinnamon, about a 1/3 teaspoon, just sprinkled on food. Or if you're going to add it to your coffee, which is something I like doing, add like a half a teaspoon in the, like if you're making a 5-cup pot, figure like for every 4 cups of coffee, add about half a teaspoon of cinnamon to the coffee grounds, and it will get that way. Okay, I did not answer your question. Which question did I not? Is it this question, or is there another question I missed? Oh, okay, here's a great question. So how to decide how much of each product should people take? So there is, let me talk with, oh, wait. Before we get to this question, it's time for the big takes, or the group take. So those of you with the liver pill, woo, liver pill, remember this is a 4 capsule a dose day. Because of my family's eating habits, we don't usually have supper until about 9 o'clock. I take 2 now. And then I'll take the other 2 around 5 o'clock tonight. Wash that down. Okay, and then the brain pill. And because tonight is an episode of Merriweather's World, I'm going to take a partial dose in the morning. I'm going to take 2 now. And then this evening, I'll take 1. So my brain is up and firing and good for Merriweather's World. Brain pill. And dun dun dun. The immune pill. You too can get the immune pill right now, today, after the show. Like I said, we want... I have no fingernails. So, shrink wrapped. Cap. Sealed. Just a minute. Nope. Cotton ball. Desiccant. And finally, the capsules. Woohoo! So the immune pill. And then the daily dose for this is 3. 3. Take all 3 in the morning for that. Just because, so during the day is when you're most likely to encounter the viruses and other things that may be out there. And so you want to have your body prepped for that. And so you want the the effects to be up and ready for the day. Okay, so Kiri, how do I decide how much of each product people should take? So it's based on scientific research. The way I figured out the individual formulations. So we decide on a problem, say liver issues. Go through and look at all the ethnobotanical records of what medicinal plants were used to treat the liver, and get this big long list. This culture used this people use that, da 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 da, down the line. Okay, so then I have a list of probably like 20 plants or more and mushrooms. Then I start doing the scientific research and seeing, okay, which ones have scientific support, and how effective were they, what sort of doses were needed, what sort of side effects were noticed, things like that. And then from there, I take the big long list of everything, the traditional, and figure of those traditional, which have scientific proof. And from there, then I see which ones are commercially available. Can we actually get that down to which of the plants are readily, well, even somewhat readily available somewhere that we can purchase and powder and pack. So, but at that step where I'm going through the scientific data, that's where I figure out the dosages, because usually the scientists will say, in many cases, we tried this dose, this dose, this dose, and this dose, and it seemed like this dose didn't do anything. This dose gave us a good effect, and this dose gave us kind of the same effect. So I should be going up. But from that, I base the amount that I feel should be appropriate in the pill. And that's why, like with the liver pill, you got to take 4 of them. That's just to get the amount of the plant and mushroom material into you. Because even when it's freeze-dried and powdered into a fine powdered and packed, maximum amount of material we can put in a capsule is 700 milligrams. So I'm kind of limited. I can't put more than 700 milligrams in a capsule, and I don't want the daily requirement to be more than 4 capsules. Like 4 is the maximum, because beyond that, it just gets a lot of work. But we're trying to replace the plants that people had been eating and no longer are eating in your diet in the most convenient way. So remember, plants are 80% water. So if you would multiply that by 80 to get the amount of plant you would get. Does that make sense? So again, the amounts of the individual components are based on the different studies I found showing the effectiveness and how much of the plant was needed to reach that level of effectiveness. Okay. Hey, good morning, Richard. You'll see. Let's see. Wow, no immunity system. Okay. So the next question then is this an effect of, say, cancer or immunosuppressive drugs because of a organ transplant or something like that? But yeah, with no immune system, I'm concerned without a deeper understanding of your particular situation, Curtis. I'm a little hesitant to recommend the immune pill. The reason being is like people who are on immunosuppressants, people with lupus, people with rheumatoid arthritis, or other autoimmune diseases where the immune system is attacking the body uncontrollably. A lot of times they will be prescribed things to kind of drop down their immune system and suppress it. And what the immune pill does is it brings it back up. And so then the autoimmune starts attacking the person again. So go ahead and direct message me and we can talk more. Oh, yeah. Garlic and omega-3 are another 2 big ones for blood sugar. Ooh, golden milk. Yeah. So the turmeric in milk thing, that's a good way of doing it. If that's what you're talking about, that's what I think of when I think of golden milk. Ah, that's one of the good things there. The turmeric gummies. I hadn't seen that, but it makes makes perfect sense. Good morning, bird. Chirpy is very loud today. Yeah, at the turmeric gummies. One of the things about the turmeric tea is it can stain your teeth because it's bright orange. But when you just add it to the food, it's all right. Yep. And that's a big problem with lupus. But I've been reading up, in my trying to create a immune pill for people with autoimmune diseases. The whole vitamin D thing popped up. So yeah, you can't go in the sun, but mushrooms can. So you can get your vitamin D from mushrooms you've set out in the sun. And there's a number of studies that show the vitamin D helps with the lupus. So. There's a good one. Yeah. So Carrie writes, saw a program once, Native American tribe, half skinny and healthy in Mexico, the other half in U.S., diabetic, high blood pressure, etc. Put a bunch of U.S. tribe members on their native diet, which involved native plants. U.S. tribe obesity diseases went away as members got healthy eating native plants. Yeah, that's the thing. The average U.S. diet, especially on the diet of those who are on government assistance, they can't afford the good foods. Whoop, stop. All right, we'll just finish this one. And so just getting back to the more native foods, there's an interesting study. I just want to throw this out there. The Greek diet. You might have heard the Greek diet, high in vegetables, anchovies, wine, things like that. Supposed to be super healthy because Greek people live to 100 and are really healthy and great mental capabilities and so forth. So a lot of studies have been done on the Greek diet, and it's found the Greek diet is great if you're Greek. If you are, Germanic descent or South American or African, the Greek diet doesn't do a whole lot for you because you didn't evolve with those foods to maintain your health. Does that make sense? So the foods you evolved with are usually the most beneficial. And that's one of the reasons with the compounds, the formulations that I've come up with, I take mixtures of the plants, from Africa, from Asia, from Europe and Russia, and blend them together so that, because the human race now is really blended. And your Scandinavian people may have had elderberry and it was great for them, but you're no longer pure Norwegian. You got a bunch of other stuff in there, so your blood and your organs are searching for these other plants too, and that's what I'm trying to do with the Medicine Man. Okay, so it is 8 o'clock. Time for me to get to work. Time for you to order the immune pill, maybe. Maybe. Let me just put the link up here. I completely forgot to do that. Because remember, the goal is everyone order the immune pill today, because then it will the Amazon automatic algorithms will go, wow, this is a really popular thing, because if people are searching for it, then they will put it, if other people are searching for similar things, they'll say, hey, try this, because a lot of people seem to like it. So it's basically a way of hijacking the Amazon algorithms. All right, man. I need to start this show earlier because we have way too much to talk about each day. All right, tribe. Love you. Have a great day. Have a healthy day. See you tonight. Tonight on Merriweather's World, it will be plum crazy. If you like plums, tune in, and we will talk about them, both domestic and wild. Until then, have a great day. Love you. Mom and Dad, love you. Mwah. See you tonight. All right, bye.